Welcome to Biking into the World. I'm Harrison Brown and I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm Harrison Brown and I'm an adventure cyclist. I'm gonna be biking by myself over 6,000 miles from Fairbanks, Alaska, all the way to Key West, Florida. Every day on the road is an adventure. Let's start pedaling because the adventure begins right now. All right, we're about to begin the journey from Alaska to Florida. I've somehow miraculously cleaned my room. It's empty now. I'm headed to the airport. Will's Ford Explorer is filled with my bike. It's got a box on it, and we should be good to go. But this is empty. It's empty. This is the end of the LA journey and the beginning of the bike journey. So there you go. That was the dumbest thing I could have said ever. Gonna be a lot of that, man. Gonna be a lot of that. Bye-bye, house. Bye-bye. So Will and I just ate at Big Wok's Mongolian Barbecue Grill. Is that, I don't know what it's called. Will and I just ate at Big Wok's Mongolian Barbecue, and I just got a fortune cookie, so we're gonna open it up and see what it is. All right, because the journey's about to begin. We're about to go to the airport. What do I got on the fortune? What's the fortune for my trip? Crack. Whether you choose love or fame, you'll be able to handle either or both. There you go, guys. Let's go into the wilderness. Now begins the toughest journey, the journey to the airport. I got my bike all checked in at the baggage claim, and then it was onwards to Seattle. So what was great about having an 11-hour layover in Seattle was I actually got to see my parents. My parents live about 15 minutes from the airport, so they were able to come pick me up, and I was able to go back to their place and got to see them a little bit. People always ask me what my parents think about me doing this. What do you think about this?
Well, you know, we always raised you to be independent and to follow your passions, and if you never did this, you'd always be wondering, can I do it? So, yeah, we want you to do it. But
it's almost as if I asked you this question and you've had time to think about it. And I got on the plane and left for Anchorage around 11 in the morning. I arrived in Anchorage around 1:50, 2 o'clock, and from there I had to assemble my bike. Assembling my bike took me close to 2 hours. There's a lot to do when assembling that surly long-haul trucker, aka Jim the Rambler. Definitely takes a while to get all set up. I had some new equipment that I hadn't put on before because I knew I'd have to break it down. I had to put a new front rack on. All that stuff just took a little bit of time. In the world, and I made it to Alaska. It took me a while. It took me quite some time to actually assemble my bike once I got here, but I did it, and now it's time to go see the world. Alright, so I did a trip to REI. I got some bear stuff. I got a lot of tiny things, because you gotta have those tiny things that you didn't bring. I'm sure I have too much stuff, but I'll deal with it. But anyway, that's one stop in Anchorage down, onwards and upwards. Alright, it's time to fuel up, so I'm gonna eat a burger at Stopover. Where else would you go in Anchorage, Alaska? They have a great bike path system here. So I took this whole bike path just along the coast, all the way down, and then circled back up into town. You gotta come all the way to Anchorage to get the best Mexican food in the world. And the weather has been absolutely amazing. In the 70s, it's super sunny. People were saying this is the best it has ever been. At this time of year last year, there was snow on the ground. So it's been completely different. Blue skies, absolutely beautiful out. That's why I would give
One thing I wanted to do before I left Anchorage is such a big trip all the way up to Fairbanks, up through Denali National Park. I really wanted to be sure all my gear is working properly. The video equipment, I can edit everything, and that physically on the bike, all my gear is working right. Because right now I have a heavy load. I have a very heavy load. All the video equipment really has added some extra weight onto that bike. I feel it's probably the heaviest touring bike in the world. So my leg muscles are going to be very huge by the time I get to Florida, that's for sure.
Alaska is home to many endangered species. I spotted my first one. It's standing right behind me. It's a Barnes & Noble bookstore, very popular during the 90s and early 2000s, and now we're on the endangered species list. That's Anchorage, Alaska. Over the past couple days, we've got my bike ready, we got my gear ready, and it's now time to leave Anchorage, head north towards Denali National Park into Fairbanks. Once we leave Anchorage, we'll be beginning this huge journey all the way to Key West, Florida, over 6,000 miles, over 6 months. But eventually, we will make it there, and we begin the adventure tomorrow. While I'm on my way to Fairbanks, I'm not gonna have internet or cell phone or any way to connect with you guys. So I have a few videos that are gonna be released while I'm gone. The next time you'll really hear from me is once I get into cell phone reception up in Fairbanks, Alaska. Anyway, guys, tomorrow I'm ready to go into uncharted territory for myself, out into the wilderness, and I am going to be biking into the world. I'm Harrison Brown. I'll see you in Fairbanks.